evening. I had to stop her as she was in the middle of saying whatever she was saying as she was looking for something. Hello, Jenny, David, Rebecca,
It's pretty
Patricia,
much me in a nutshell.
David, how's everyone doing? Friday night. Woohoo! Party.
Is it?
Hey, Anna. Laura, how are you guys? How's everyone doing? Friday night. We're in. Raining like hell out there. Hello, Veronica. How are you? And well, that we get one of these lives in before we get busy. We have an event tomorrow, and Sunday will probably be recovering from the event tomorrow. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, how's everyone doing? It's been a couple of days since we had
Judy Harkey.
Judy. Like Judy a lot. We had a lot of compliments on Judy. People seemed really happy with the way that that live stream went. And I got a lot of messages. People that I know were watching it and telling me. Remember, we got together with Kevin, and he was like, "Yeah, that lady you had on,
she was amazing.
Was really good.
She is amazing. I really like her."
Just remember that John books everyone for this thing here, and yeah. So if you like it, thank you. Hello, Brenda. How are you? So we'll start this live stream off with something to show you that I posted my picture today. Chris begged and Donna Schultz
that's what
took pity, and now Kevin took pity. So yes, she's got figures too, but we all know why. So
when did I do this begging?
I'll show you. You can show yours first because they've already seen the picture.
Are you sure?
Yeah, they've already seen.
Are you sure? You really want me to take away your thunder?
Mine's better, so you can show yours first.
I actually have a real live action figure. It moves, it bends, and I can change its hand to make a fist.
You're not selling them. You look like you're doing a commercial.
I don't care. I'm like so tickled. And it comes with their own. He goes, I couldn't make a sofa. And I'm like, I don't want to sit next to John. I want my own space. So
you want to see the action figure with the sofa. I'll show you.
That ain't an action figure.
I'll show you.
That's not an action figure.
No, you haven't seen this.
Oh, I know what he's going to get. Oh my God. But isn't she like he actually sat and worked so hard diligently to try to make this jacket look, and he even put, and I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm not exactly really good at this, but NJP on the back, and I was tickled. I was really tickled. And then he made her little seat so she could sit down, which again, that was really cute. I like her. And like I said to John, mine's a real action figure. His is an ornament.
This is the one they made of the two of us on the couch. That's me. Well, there's me right there.
You notice mine says rock?
There's me right there.
Right? Death rock?
Got the couch and everything in there.
Who's the hater now?
Just saying. That's when I had the shorter hair. Get you with the ponytail. Anyway, that's the fake one that she showed you, and the real one is.
This is the masterpiece. There it is,
right there. Very own Paranormal Savior.
He's got a big head, doesn't he, everybody?
Mr. Potato Head, Paranormal Savior. There it is. There it is.
Is it done to actual life size, like
Haterade? Get the Haterade.
So show them what it does.
Get the Haterade. Oh, and if you pop the hair off.
This is just for Nikki.
This is to show you that they really took time making mine as opposed to.
No.
There is a little nozzle on the top that you can that's filled with holy water, and you could spray it at the demons. So again, someone got their little couch and their little whatever, but we all know. Thank you, Brenda. Hey, Jonathan, how are you?
And John got Mr. Potato Head.
Hey, haters gonna hate. Haters are gonna hate.
That's exactly right.
Hate us because they ate us.
I'm not hating. I have a real live action figure. gear. That means their
Hello,
parts
Linda.
move. See, I
Donna.
could drop kick you.
So so that was fun. Again, thank you, Kevin, if you're watching.
Yeah, that was really
It
cool.
was really cool of you to do that. Um, it's the second time. He's the one who made the little figure that he used in December, and the collection's growing. The Paranormal Savior Shrine with the shirt, the mug, the figures. I mean, it's growing by the day. And see, Haterade, don't worry. Anybody out there that wants to, she's begging again. If you want to get her a shirt and a mug, please, please. Her birthday's in September. It'll mean a lot to her. So, okay, wink,
Not
wink.
what I'm saying.
Wink, wink. She deserves it. Wink, wink, wink.
You're evil.
Anyway,
that's why you got a potato head.
Get the family is now claiming their body. So, tomorrow night, if you're coming to that event at the Sterling Hill Mine and you're watching this right now, be prepared. Weather's going to be bad. It's going to rain tonight into tomorrow. So, be prepared. Wear old shoes, wear a light jacket, probably wear a hat. There's going to be water spots in the mine, water on the ground, maybe water dripping from the ceiling in different areas. So if you are coming and you're watching this now, just wear old shoes and be prepared for rain.
Yeah, I sent everybody an email today about it.
She screwed up the time, so
it's the time he gave us.
She screwed up the sign.
The team he gave the team that time.
Yeah, get your boots. That's what I wear.
The boots.
I wear my dirty boots. Rain's better than snow.
And you know what? I always say, I know that people are talking about umbrellas and stuff, but if there's a wind or whatever, rain jackets are always the best. Always the best. It's easier, so you don't have to carry anything.
Anyway, which brings me to tomorrow, because we are going to be at the Sterling Hill Mine again, and there will be some new experiments going on.
Yeah.
We try every year to bring something new to the events that we do. And again, I don't think there's anything wrong with experimenting and trying new things or trying old things from, that they used to use back in the day, as the kids say. So if you're coming tomorrow, expect nothing big and extravagant, but there'll be some new things that we're trying in the mine, out of the mine, different areas, probably some things you probably haven't seen or done before, not with us anyway. But yeah, we're gonna try some new experiments and try to bring them to every building that we do, and it's good because it's been, it's weird. Again, I always relate us, especially the core four, me, Chris, Tanya, Kenny. I always relate to us as a band because we've known each other so long. We are with each other every other weekend. We spend time afterwards together. We're friends, of course, but of course, like a band and friends, we have our highs, we have our lows. We don't always agree. We don't always get along. But when we're together and we're working collectively and we're doing these events and everybody's kind of in it, you find a lot of good ideas kind of bubble to the surface, and I think that's the mode we've been in lately, where we're just like, creative. Hey, yeah, we're getting creative again. And we're like, let's try some different stuff. Let's do some different stuff and see. Maybe nothing will come of it, but you know what? We haven't done it. You try. Yeah, let's give it a shot. And I'm all for that. Short of, drawing a pentagram on the ground with blood and bringing in some animals and sacrificing them, I'll try pretty much anything when it comes to the paranormal stuff. That's me.
You'll be alone.
Robert is in Scotland.
Oh, he is?
Yes.
Nice.
But yeah, when you come tomorrow, you're gonna see.
Maybe Donna.
You're gonna do some different things, so it should be fun. And like I said, the rain is gonna be the rain. Just be careful getting there. Hopefully, it stops by the time we start. But the mine will have gone through a day of solid rain.
Yeah, so it's going to be really damp. Yeah, definitely, and nice big ones, and the water really drips in there pretty darn good. So yeah, you like I said, you want to wear.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? But so again, that's going to be cool tomorrow. I'm actually looking forward to rolling those things out and seeing what works, what's cool, what people like,
Yeah.
and
Shaking it up.
yeah, we'll see. So that's tomorrow night. That's sold out. Uh, what we have coming up, um, yeah, wear a hat for sure.
Wear a hat. That's right, Robert.
Yeah. What we have coming up, speaking of the mind, finally, I've been working on this for like 2 years now. And finally, I've been able to lock in a date for Steve Gonzalez, Ghost Hunters, to join us at the Sterling Hill Mine. Do you listening out there? Which you're watching. I know you're watching. I want you to hear it again. Steve Gonzalez, who I like Steve a lot.
Yeah.
When Steve comes to the expo, which he has for the last, I don't know how many years now he's been with us. Steve is a really good guy. A really good guy. Steve just, gives you a big hug when you see him. He's always sincere.
He's real.
You know what I mean? He's a real guy. And I've been wanting to do an event with Steve
for a very long time. You've been trying to make this happen.
I'll tell you the real quick story again from the first time I ever met Steve. And I'm sure some of you guys have heard this before. I'll tell it quick. I'm a fan of Ghost Hunters like everybody else out there. And Steve and Dave were doing an event in a town over from where I lived. I lived in Clark. They were doing it in Westfield, I think. I'm going to the Dunkin' Donuts. I pull in the car next to me. I look over and I'm like, damn. I'm on the phone with somebody. I'm like, that looks like Steve Gonzalez. And they're like, what? I'm like, Steve Gonzalez just pulled up right next to me. And he got out of his car and he went inside. They're like, is it really? I'm like, gotta go. Hang up the phone.
Someone was me.
I get in. I'm right behind him. I wasn't on the phone with you. I get on the phone and I get off the phone. I'm right behind him. And I'm doing the old creepy, like staring at him while he's there waiting online. He turns around and I said, how you doing? And he's like, good. I'm like, you doing something around here? And he's like, yeah, I'm doing an event. It must have been the longest line wait of his life because I asked him a million questions between where he was waiting. There were like 3 people in front of him. And when he got his drink, he just gave me one of these and peeled out of the
stalker fan.
But that was the first time I ever met him. But having him at the expo through the years and really kind of getting to know him a little bit.
And him getting to know that you're not crazy?
Oh, I don't know about that. But I've been trying to lock in a date with him when he's not busy to come do an event. And Sterling Hill Mine will be the perfect place for that.
Yeah.
So that is August 3rd. Those tickets aren't on sale yet. They will be, I'm sure, fairly soon. Hey, Joey.
Hey, Joey.
How's it going? But that is August 3rd. Steve Gonzalez at the Sterling Hill Mine. You are not gonna wanna miss that one because I am gonna be like, during that one, like, hey, we're investing. We talk to John Zaffis probably once a week now about a lot of different stuff that I can't go into, and John Zaffis is it for me. I love talking to John about paranormal stuff. John's a funny guy. He's so knowledgeable when it comes to the paranormal, and getting to investigate with him the times that we've had, I love it. I have as much fun as everyone else. Hey, Angel. And now with Steve there, I think it'll be really, really, really cool. So he'll have his book. So we'll be selling his book, doing book signings. I'm sure he'll do a Q&A lecture, and then he'll join us for the ghost hunt inside the mine, which really, really cool. August 3rd. You do not want to miss that one. That is going to be a good one. And speaking of John Zaffis, this is going to sound like a big infomercial. John and I were just talking 2-3 days ago, and he has agreed for his September event to also bring his objects with him. So it's going to be a repeat of the May 25th event where John brings different objects with him the second time, and we investigate the objects and we investigate Camp Evans. And that's going to be, I believe, September 7th, I want to say.
And what's this one? It's September 2nd.
Anybody want to fill her in the
No,
comments?
no.
If you guys are listening,
No,
I know
no.
she doesn't.
I'm
But
trying
if you guys are
I'm
listening,
trying to
please.
think of September 7th
fill her
where
in.
it's going to be located. September is Camp Evans. Is that what you're talking about? All right, move
Now
on.
you see why you don't get why you have to
No,
beg for figures.
listen,
and that
I'm not
people
begging
just
anything. I get
give them-
distracted.
Thank
There's a
you,
message.
Kathy.
Wait
Yes,
a
please
minute.
fill her
I
in
just said Camp
about
Evans,
this.
but wait. I got distracted because somebody said, and this is what threw me for a loop.
Squirrel.
Are you guys going to that haunted Walmart? That's what threw me. Like, I'm not kidding. Right there. Why crickets?
Where are you going with this? Yes, John McGinnis, please. I should. I really should.
Do not instigate this troublemaker, John McGinn. Do not let me sick my action figure on you. Because I will.
Yes, Veronica, I'm sure the whole haunted Walmart caught everyone's eye, but we didn't stop and bring things to a screeching halt and distract the whole conversation
what?
when we saw it. So, some of us do. Again, squirrel. That's what I deal with.
I am who I am.
No, I'm sure there's lots of haunted Walmarts. So there's not just one.
I have no idea what that means.
Would you like to? You want to wait till she?
No, I just even Patricia said something about it. So I'm just curious of what the heck that means and what it represents and why there's something about a haunted Walmart.
See, when you do a show with hillbillies, Walmart, you mentioned Walmart, it just goes right off the rails because.
No, we call it Wally World, not Walmart.
You take it.
You can't
you take it. I'm not even gonna.
Click with that one.
Take it. Go ahead. Take it, Miss Walmart. You got the wheel now.
No, I don't. I'm just telling you. That's what they call the big Walmart, Wally World. That's it. I got it off my chest.
Yeah, John, please don't even bring that up. You'll really get her off on a tangent if you mention haunted trailer parks. That'll forget it. Anyway, back to please don't type anything else about Walmart, please, because we're going to talk about other things. Yes, I'm sure they're all haunted, especially some of the ones we've been to. But anyway, again, that's John Zaffis will be bringing his objects September 7th, I believe that is.
Yeah.
I'm literally going to stop talking in 2 minutes. Go ahead. Please take the lead. I can't do
You're
this.
talking about September 7th.
Okay, I was.
With John Zaffis at Camp Evans. That he's going to bring his haunted items.
Yep.
I got it.
Okay. Anything else you want to add to that?
No.
No?
No. Go ahead.
Why not?
Because I don't.
Heaven help me. New show idea, Haunted Hillbillies. I would watch that every week, John.
You would.
Every week, I would be their most loyal watcher. Do you notice different activity in mind when you have a larger group? There really is no rhyme or reason, to be honest with you, when they are more active or not. We've had things happen both. When we were in there just with us and we were in there with people. We have people that watch that'll tell you they were there as part of a group and Deb, a shadow figure, ran right up on her. And there was a lot of people there that night. So, I mean.
I think it depends on the energy in the group and maybe of particular people. I mean, as strangely as that we always talk about that it doesn't like women and, coming into the mind, whatever, but there was a gentleman that actually was pushed into the side of the tunnel. So it's not just women that get picked on in there either. There are sometimes that males get pushed and things happen. I've watched it and been surprised by it.
Yeah, you never know. There really is no rhyme or reason. But I am going to talk to the director, one of the directors, tomorrow about the overnight. That is something we still want to do. It's just a matter of when and how. I mean, the only date that's open that we could possibly even, well, there's so few dates open, but I like early June. I don't want to go when it's too like scorching hot outside and when it's
You
too
don't want to during the
cold.
raining season either,
Yeah,
when
I
it's
mean,
wet in there.
I would like a nice night to where if I wanted to go outside and hang out with the bears, I could go out with the bears and go outside and it's nice and cool out there. If I wanted to eat, get something to eat, just go out there and drink my tea, and then go back in again. I'd like a night like that. And it'd be cool to hang out with people.
You actually had a really, you actually said something, because I'm not staying in there overnight. I will come in the initial beginning, whatever, and then after, but I'm not staying. That's just too much of a drain on me. And there's parts of that mind, especially with the area where you guys really want to concentrate. I don't want to be in that area. You already know how I feel about that area. But you even talked about that once it's over, in the wee hours of the morning, whatever, that maybe meet down and go at the diner and have breakfast and everything, and that's the way to end it.
I didn't say that at all. You just.
Well, he did say that to me.
They love their diners. But
he said maybe after going and getting breakfast and stuff, and I think that's a really good idea. I like that idea.
I mean, who knows if everyone's going to stay the entire night?
Well, I'm not.
Right. Well, there you go.
I mean, I'll go into the other building, but I'm not staying in the mine.
Again, another thing too, if you're coming tomorrow night and you're watching, we're gonna meet in the visitor area.
Yeah, I call it the concession.
The gift shop is, and that's where we're gonna meet, because the one building is kind of closed. But so we're gonna kind of change things up a bit. The other thing too, there's this guy. I don't want to mention his name because I'm not sure if I want to talk to him, like interview him or not. But he's a bishop. But I don't know. Kathy would be able to tell me religion stuff. I'm not. When it comes to religion, I know nothing really. When it comes to religion, I don't know if you could just call yourself, like, could you be a bishop of Acme Church? Could you anoint yourself as that? Are bishops just with the Catholic Church, or are they? See, I don't know anything about this. So this guy's a bishop, and I know the name of the church, and I don't know what kind of church, if it's legit or not. I'll look it up and I'll Google it. But he does these lives, and I don't know how I stumbled upon him, but he does these lives where he talks a lot about the paranormal.
Really?
But he's very well versed in religion, and and I'm watching him tonight, and he had a psychic medium on, and the psychic medium's going on and on about how he's Native American and his whole family are psychic mediums and blah, 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 blah. And I'm listening to this and I'm like, it's really interesting that a bishop would be talking about this kind of stuff.
But is it like in the field where people anoint themselves?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Like, could you
take an online course and be a bishop?
No, you can't. There's a very strict process through the church that you have to go to be ordained a bishop. They're like,
that's the Catholic Church. Is it like that with?
You can't just say
the Church
of I'm a bishop.
Coyotes.
Acme. No, Kathy. Right. You can't. You cannot. You just can't say you're a bishop.
So this guy has a psychic medium on, and
yeah, he's probably just calling himself a bishop.
I got a big problem with psychic mediums because I don't think psychic. People may have psychic ability once in a while, I guess, because there are people that have premonitions and they don't get on a plane or something because something told them not to. But like predicting future, maybe Nostradamus was maybe, but I think a lot of people claim to be psychic mediums,
but I don't think he was. Notre Dame was
Nostradamus.
Nostradamus. Sorry, I always say it wrong. A psychic. He did scrying. That's where he got all of his information from.
This is Reverend this all the time. So, but I'm listening to this bishop interview, this psychic medium, and he's talking about generational psychic mediums and his family, and everyone could be one. Everyone has the gift, and blah blah blah. We can develop it, and blah blah blah, all that stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I was so tempted because I'm watching it and I'm this close to typing in there, you know, would you be open to being tested? You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like you can't test if a spirit is in a room. There's really no test for that. You could be with a paranormal researcher investigating along on an investigation, and you could hear the EVPs and you could see whatever, a shadow figure, whatever, but you can't, like, you know what I mean? You can't test that and go, oh yeah, every time, oh, this is real, this is real. But a psychic, you can kind of test, and a medium, you can test. There are ways to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Take and again, my nephew and I, who is watching now, or he was watching anyway. I lost my sister. He lost his mother. Um, we were talking about mediums and different for different reasons, and I was advising him because someone he's close to went to a medium, but this medium already kind of knows. If you go to a medium and they know you, honestly, what's the point? What is the point? I mean, if you're looking for just counseling on your grief, I get it. I get it. And you're looking for a message of hope and I get, believe me, I get all of that as part of the grieving process. I grieve, you know, um, but if you're going to a medium for a reading and you're paying these people and they know you personally and they know your social media, how are you going to take anything they say as
with a grain of salt?
yeah, I mean,
how are you going to
I'm talking as a skeptic. So when my nephew and I were talking about this, and I'm probably going to get in trouble with mediums out there, but I'm telling you from my point of view, I'm not speaking for you guys or her. I'm speaking for me. So when my nephew and I were talking about mediums and going to this medium that knew this other person that he's close to, I said, call the medium up on the phone and say, I'm not going to give you my full name. This is my first name. I was recommended, and I'm not going to tell you who recommended me either. I want to schedule a reading for a day and time, but all you get to know about me is my first name. That's it. I'll pay you with cash at the beginning of the reading. And if they're doing the reading, now again, this is my nephew who he lost his father and his mother and his grandfather. And so there's a lot of loss attached surrounding him. So it's easy for a cold reading to hit on a motherly figure, a father. You're going to check all those boxes if you start guessing. So I said to him, if you're having the reading and it's going well, but it's general, personality traits, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. If it's general, ask the medium, tell me something about my mother or something my mother and I did that only we would know. Tell something that she would definitely say to me, remember this, or a vision of that. And I said, then, but if you're happy with the general reading, whatever, pay it and whatever you want to do. But that's how I would do it. If I ever went to a medium. Now, when I lost my mom, several medium friends of mine wanted to tell me things, and I said, no way, don't, no way. And and I know the messages they were going to give me, positive, messages, and love and hope and but if my mother wants to come through to me, she's gonna, and she has in her own way. But I wouldn't go to a medium. I definitely wouldn't go to a medium that I know, and we know a lot. I would contact some stranger in 4 towns over that doesn't know me, and I would never give him my name. I would give him like a fake name. I'd say my name is Bob, and I'd walk in and I'd sit in front of them. Then I test them. I would.
Yeah, because everybody that that's a medium that does have they know everything about you because you're friends with them.
Well, but that's how I would go to a medium. And believe me, there are legit mediums out there. I've met a few and all of the time doing this. So I do believe there are legit mediums, but I believe that number is so small compared to how many mediums are out
Well,
there.
a comment was made, and I do want to say, Leslie said that they do say that you can learn to do this. I don't believe that. I think you either have it or you don't. Now, what you can learn, I believe, this is my belief, my opinion. What I do believe you can learn is self-awareness. And when you start to learn self-awareness and opening yourself and making yourself aware of things, it opens you up to more things.
I would agree with
that. I do believe in wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
And that's in itself a gift. But do I believe that just if you go to a class and someone's telling you that all of a sudden you can commune with the dead? And I don't believe that at all, because if that were the case, we'd all be doing it and we wouldn't have to do what we do.
But that's like saying everyone has the ability to be a great painter. Everyone has the ability to be a great guitarist. Everyone has the ability to be a great pianist. Everyone has the ability to be a great, songwriter. Yes, we all have the tools. We're all humans.
But some of us don't have that gift.
Exactly. That's what separates.
Like I'm not going to be able.
I could dribble a basketball, but I'll never be Michael Jordan.
No.
I mean, some people are gifted, in a
because
sense.
That's like saying that if you practice and practice and practice and practice and practice, you can be a Beethoven. Practice and practice and practice, and you can be a Michelangelo. And you just keep going on. That doesn't make sense. These people are truly gifted with something so beyond anything in our comprehension of what they do that it's just insane. I mean, look at Albert Einstein. Look at his genius and what he accomplished. I mean, I just don't believe, if that's the case, why then it's really not a gift, a special gift for these certain people that stand out in this world, right? That's kind of the standpoint that I take when it comes to that.
People wonder how I get these awards. It's conversations like this that make people want to present these to me, because just saying. Here's the thing. What Krista said is 100%. I believe what she believes, as far as if someone were to teach you meditation, deep meditation, and how to, like she said, connect with yourself.
Good night, Anne.
Get in tune, block out the, maybe there is a chance that your senses will be, you could tap into something there. Just like maybe some of us who never picked up a guitar could pick up a guitar and learn how to play it quicker than others.
Well, how is it that some can be born and someone who just listens to music can all of a sudden walk over to the piano and play out a whole big...
Patricia, leave the jokes to us. Okay, because...
It's the wine. Yeah. She said it's the wine. Leave her be. But no, that's what I
never get an action figure, Patricia.
And I do. And again, I think going and learning how to be open and does open you up to the ability of maybe having an experience or something happening, but not on the scale where you're going to sit down and have a conversation with a spirit or whatever. I mean, I always tell people say, and this is another thing I think confuses people. And John and I have talked about this. I grew up having horrible experiences with the paranormal. I am not gifted. I do not have the ability to see the dead. I do not have the ability to talk to the dead. What was happening to me was a haunting. There are experiences and then people who actually have that ability. I don't. I just experienced whatever was doing what it was doing. So sometimes I think when people have an experience, they automatically go, I had that experience. I saw that in that moment. So that means I have the gift. And I don't think that that's what that is. I think that gets mixed up sometimes in the sauce.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's one of those things where, even getting around to the skeptic side of things, it's okay to be a skeptic. I mean, as long as you're not, it's okay to comment on things and say what your opinion is of a picture or a video or whatever. It's okay to do that and inject logic into it. If you want to say that could be like, I get ring cam videos all the time and the wind is blowing and there's a drop of water on there and here comes a drop of water, and there's a light from across the street illuminating a little, and they think it's a spirit going down. I get it. To the novice out there who watches YouTube or whatever, yeah, that looks like something. I get it. I would never belittle someone and say, "Oh, you're an idiot." That's definitely blah blah blah. I would explain what I think it is, and you know what? I could be wrong.
Not there.
I'm
You're
not
not seeing it
perfect
for
either.
yourself.
But when you get to the point where you're searching out to bash and ruin, and the paranormal has become way too much of that. It is ugly. The paranormal field is turning into a horror show in what's going on out there,
Well,
and people, what they're doing and how they're doing it on all different levels. I mean, Jason Hawes, he did a whole YouTube where he was talking about it, and I watched it. And when you're in the field, you better have a tough skin, man. You better have a tough skin if you're going to be in this field and you're going to navigate the waters. And we've been doing this a long time. You better have a tough skin. But if you keep your circle small, remain true to yourself, have integrity, just have good character, and do things for the right reason, you'll be good, you know?
Yeah, it goes back to, I was talking with somebody who's a good friend and just saying that when you do what you do, like, there are people that I don't get along with, or I don't approve of how they do what they do. That's my view. And that's all it is. It's my view. It's not my job to be judge and juror, or to decide who's doing something right, who's doing wrong, who should do it this way. I'm better than you. That's not what I'm here for. Well, this is what I think we're kind of getting mixed up on, where people are feeling comfortable and they don't understand. You're not calling out, you're shaming, and you're judging. And that's not what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to focus on what we're, stay in your lane, do what you're supposed to do for you and what you're focused on.
It's different if people are blatantly faking things.
That's a little bit different.
And, then that's completely
different.
Different.
But there's a thin line for that too. You got to walk that line. Do you really have to call someone out who's doing something wrong? Sooner or later, that house of cards going to fall apart on its own anyways. Yeah. So why do we have to add to that and point in that direction?
I don't.
But that's what I'm saying. So I feel that whoever's doing misrepresenting and knowing, you're not going to change what they do and who they are. That's who they are. So let them do what they're going to do. Everybody catches on sooner or later, and it's okay. We don't need to have a big forum of pointing it and putting those guns in that direction. It'll happen on its own. People with integrity just stick to what they're doing, keep their nose to the grind, and everything else will fall to the wayside after. I believe that. That's my faith. That's who keeps me who I am, and it's not going to change. And he's shaking his head. Because he knows that when I see a lot of live stuff, I go.
You ever see those movies where, like, there's movies made where, like, people were driving, like they're cartoon movies or whatever, and they're in the real world, and all of a sudden, like Roger Rabbit, they cross into this like happy cartoon land. Chris lives in happy cartoon land where everything is everybody. I mean, it's not all like and love and light.
It's not. And when somebody really crosses my line, because I have a line, but I have compassion and I have understanding, and I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But man, when you cross that line, there's no going back. But I'm just saying, I prefer to live in that happy land. I'll go over into the cartoon landy because that's what keeps me sane, and I'm good with it.
Someone questioned that.
Listen, that if that keeps me I'd rather be that than a hater, angry, bitter, attacking, and just not happy and miserable. I like being in my little world. I'm good with that.
What?
You can't bring. Listen.
No more Canada Dry.
Listen.
Make a roll. No more Canada Dry.
I got an action figure to help me on this.
No more Canada Dry. But one of the reasons I mentioned that was because when we toured the German Social Club, I saw some of the comments there, and here's how things work for the most part. Someone sends me a message via email, instant message, whatever, and they're like, "Hey, this stuff is happening here. You should come check it out."
Yeah.
And then we go back and forth for a while, and we decide if we're going to do that or not. And then a lot of times, especially when it's something different and new, like I've never been in a German social club before, so that alone was interesting enough for me to say, let's take the trip and let's go check this place out. So 130 years old, we drive up there. Met a really nice guy, Carl.
Yep.
Took us, opened up the building, took us through a tour. Typical. It's decorated like an older building, you know. They're beautiful old furniture, and if you see the pictures, everything. It's a really nice place. Old bar, jukebox.
The glass. What do you call them? Oh my God. They're in churches. Stained glass windows. Sorry, in German.
I was just going to
tell you. I know.
I wanted to see the process to see where.
But yeah, the stained glass windows that were done in German are what they put in there. Just absolutely stunning.
So, you know, so he's touring us through, and he's telling us. Of course, we're asking the questions. Did anybody pass away here? There was one guy who had a heart attack and died in the stairwell. Other than that, nothing really reported there. He's felt uneasy in the kitchen. He saw things downstairs. He said a few other people have as well. We go downstairs. What I thought, there he is. No, I thought that was Carl. We go down the basement, and I saw the coolest room I've ever seen in my life. This, I don't know what it's called, but they do their meetings in there. And the way he described it is they're kind of like Masons, but they don't take themselves as seriously. They speak German during these meetings, and they do some stuff, and they have fun.
And the higher ups are knights.
Yeah, and it was, this room was really cool, and I'm like, I felt heavier in that room than it did anywhere else. So they like the idea of us coming in there. They want a live stream investigation. I'm not sure if we're going to do that because again, after I posted that little teaser video, members, current members, former members, people who have been there for years were like, hey, I've been there many years and never saw nothing, never heard nothing. That place isn't haunted. I've been there, blah, blah, blah. So again, rather than cause any issues for anybody there, the way to do it may be just for us to go in there, see what we see, show them first, and then go from there. Because we don't want to, you know.
No, you never want to disrupt something, especially something that's steeped in heritage.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
And he was telling us that the head knights actually speak German, which is, and the other members don't. And when they're reading, there's a rule, there's a reading. When you're doing the rules or the techniques and all like that, it has to be in German. And it's just like amazing.
Our investigation would include someone that speaks fluent German. So
and in that one room, no women. It's just a men's club. There are no women allowed. So do you want to show Kevin what you showed everybody in the beginning?
No, I'm not going back to the beginning. No. See, this is what Chris does. Chris wants to... What were we just talking about? We had a whole nother subject going.
I did.
We were moving forward, and here we go. This is what happens.
That's what I'm here for.
Sure. So anyway, so we're still trying to work that out. Yes, I'm going to go back to the subject because I don't get distracted. Please, Dan, don't do that because she's really going to go off on a tangent. But we're going to decide what we're going to do about that because, again, I don't want any issues for the person inviting us in.
No.
I don't want any issues for the people that are members there. You know, I'd rather think about the best way to do it, and we're going to talk to them about it, whether it's doing it live or whether it's just doing it and then showing them what we found, if anything. Now, again, just because we're going in there, that's another thing that I wanted to bring up. Doesn't guarantee we're going to find anything. We're just going to go in there and do what we do.
And see.
It could be 2 hours, 3 hours of nothing. Because if there is nothing there or we don't experience anything, then that's it. It's a cool investigation. We told them we'll see what we can see. That's all we told them because that's really the plan. And that's the case with whatever place you go.
There are a lot of, and to be honest with you, there are a lot of places that we've been brought into and we've investigated that it did not work. They just, and we never talked about it or did events because it just, and we told them, have you ever had anything happen? And well, no, but we think, and like, well, we'll come in and see, and we come, and it just doesn't. And we're not going to bring people in just because for an event. And there needs to be something there.
Well, we're talking about an investigation here. So
that's what I just said.
Yeah, you said event.
Meaning that if we're doing investigation, but we have walked away from places before that had absolutely nothing.
So again, I just want to state for anybody watching, the members or anybody there. I mean, if we did come in again, we're just going to see what we can see, and it would be really cool because there are a lot of pictures of people who were former members hanging on those walls, and we do hear claims of things that have happened there. So it'll be cool to see, if we do bring someone in that speaks German and we do our diligence. You never know.
You don't.
Never know. Especially because what we always tell people, and it's true, we don't just say this for the sake of saying it. How many places have people openly trying to communicate with the spirits that are there? And here's the thing too, because now we get into a gray area of people that are more sensitive to spirits. Do they exist? I don't know. Maybe. I'm kind of on the fence about that.
You mean people being able to sense?
Yeah, I'm on the fence about that too, because we're talking about again an enhanced sensory ability of something.
Well, my belief is for some, not a lot. I think maybe it is possible. Maybe it's an energy thing, or maybe it's some type of a wiring that happens that's different. I mean, it's possible.
Right.
I believe that.
I'm saying it's also,
I don't have it.
May not be possible, but I don't know. So for me, when you get into, if those people alone are the ones having the experiences, well, it makes you wonder again, are they susceptible in theory to all spirits around them, no matter where they go, like a medium?
Right.
Or, are there more people to validate those claims? That I factor all that in when we do a walkthrough. And in this case, there's multiple people who have experienced things. So again, we go to those areas, we see what we see, we do what we do. You never know. I mean, somebody did pass away there.
Yeah.
So is it possible that person was a member or one of this? Yeah, you never know. Or in theory, a social club. How many people probably went there every year for their lives?
And again, it was moved from Newark to where it is now.
Yeah, but 130 years.
And
So is it possible that some of them come wandering back to check out the old club?
And he did tell us that just last year, 3 of their elders passed that were high up there. So that might have a factor too when you think about it. If you love something and it's a part of you and it's your...
I just literally said
that. I know that, but this is what I'm saying. That's just like, I keep thinking about when he was talking about the one that just passed away, and just like, that was his life and what it meant to him. And that was like, he took it's a part of his fiber to have his hair, not just a club, but a club that's to his heritage.
Yeah.
And a language
is it out of the realm of possibility that some of them could come back just and hang out at the club every once in a while and see what's going on and pass through?
Yeah,
I don't think that's out of the realm of possibilities.
No. We talked about that years ago, but maybe a place really isn't haunted in the sense that something stays, but maybe that there's a special place that somebody keeps coming back to because it was a favorite or it made them happy or they just loved it. And
well, think if you were a spirit. All right, let's say everybody is right and we turn into spirits and we're able to go back and forth between wherever the next place is and this place, visit our loved ones, whatever. If it's possible for us to visit our loved ones, why isn't it possible for us to go to where we went to high school?
I would love
to take a walk through. No, but you know what I'm saying? If we had fond memories of the high school, why couldn't we pass through there every now and then, or go to our old job, or go to...
I don't want to do none of those things.
No, but you know what I'm saying?
But yeah.
Why is that so far out of the realm?
I would love to be able to... I'm just saying, I would, in that respect, I would love to be able to be a spirit and pop back in time to a very happy time with my at my grandparents' house and stuff like that. Like maybe you could go, like, you know how like they said like in the future or whatever, Kalani was talking about that. That's what I would like to do and see, like if I'm a spirit and I pass away, if that's a possibility to do. To go back to an imprinted time. Why you look at me like that? That's my thing. It may not be the same thing you're talking about, but that's what I'm saying.
And why would we stay on the subject of? I'm trying to relate it to what. Forget it.
I'm just saying.
Please, you start the next subject because
why is that any different than what you're saying?
Because I was talking about one thing in particular relating to what or may not be going on and the theories behind it.
Okay.
And you introduced a whole new.
You were saying about going
all of a sudden you're the ghost of Christmas past, visiting all the places you used to be and you loved and the memories that you had.
I would love to do that.
Okay, me too.
But you just said about going to a high school, about going to.
I didn't say you would be in the same memory and the same thing.
You're just saying going back through your memory lane of like doing, well, I don't want to just go back down into a building that I was in, but I want to go back to. I know it's kind of crazy. They say you can't go, but that's if that were a possibility, that's what I would love to do.
I'm trying to figure out one of the subjects I can bring up that she could totally just take me off the rails and such. Go ahead, you bring up the next subject so I can ponder it. Go ahead.
No, we were talking about when we were over at that in Somerset. We went to this house that they hadn't done an investigation or anything, but they were talking about the things that happened there. And we came in there and we didn't get too much on the first floor, but when we went upstairs and we sat in this room, there was something about this room that was really, really, really comfortable. And we just all started opening up and talking. I remember the four of us sitting in that room, and this was before you and Kenny went up into the attic where that stuff happened with you guys and you almost got pushed down the stairs and everything changed. But we were literally sitting in that one room and it overlooked the property. And we were talking about what if you could just like go back to the places that you loved or what mattered or what really inspired, not just a place of tragedy, but some place that just really made you happy. And that was like a really, because I was really new to really doing events and doing stuff with the team. I was on the other side of it most of the time. And it was a brain opening thought process to think, because when you think of haunting, you're thinking whatever's there is just there. That used to be the perception before we started doing all of these different tests and like that and opening up to more ideas and the possibilities of stuff. But being in that room and thinking of the possibility, if I passed away and say you start talking about me and then.
You know what I like? Green shoes. Anybody have a pair of green shoes out there?
No,
I really like green shoes.
You want green
M&Ms?
M&Ms?
I had a pair of green shoes.
Would you like green M&Ms?
This is what you do to me.
But the bottom line is that it just changes the perspective and the uniqueness of something just not being haunted. But like if you were just talking about me and then all of a sudden it was able like and trying to communicate and it brings me in like a telephone. But how about that with a place? Like all of a sudden, for whatever reason, whatever happens on the other side, I can transport myself back to a place that made me really happy and was
fulfilling.
Some
people believe that, right? Some people believe, and Leslie kind of touches on that a little bit. Some people believe that spirits are existing sometimes in a place still in their time period. They're living their lives as if it was still
existing,
that they're the living people there and it's their time, and unaware that that we're here in the modern time, which is a really strange theory as well. And I love all these theories because who the hell knows, they could all be true or none of them can be true, or it really is interesting to think about that. But I'm just saying, if it were me, I think back to even now, at the ripe old age of 55 years old, there's not a time that, especially now that I've lost two people very close to me, who I remember really, really good days in a certain place, in a certain town, in a certain building, on a certain street. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That stuff is so fresh in my brain, you know, those memories, like you said, and all those times. And I can, every single time I drive by that exit, you and I, and literally every time I look over at that exit and my brain cycles through that town, those memories. And I do want to get off the exit, and I do want to drive by those same streets where I lived and see those same houses and relive those feelings and those memories, and
it takes you back in that moment
that I was back there. So again, let's say hypothetically spirits or energy, and they can not necessarily go back to the moment in time,
right,
but just go to the places like I wanted to and visit and go into those homes, especially if the people, some of the people are still there. Then again, a place like the social club, or any place, firehouse, whatever, if you were a
right,
fireman, they all could kind of have energies and spirits kind of passing through, in theory.
in theory.
It's definitely possible in theory.
Because we have come across many times where we're at a location and we think, like, we communicate with something that seems to always be there, and then we come back and all of a sudden there's a new, for a better word, character that is now in the mix. So that would kind of support your theory.
I mean, again, the mine is a really good example of that, because we've been in the mine. I can't tell you how many times over 4 years or 5 years, however many, and we never knew that this guy existed in the explosive area, was as talkative as he is and as intelligent as he is. And wow, talk about a new.
You don't think he's the nasty one?
I don't. Again, in the past, he hasn't been as vocal.
He has with me.
And that bang, you know. So again, it's ever changing, ever evolving. You no matter how much you do this, you can never say
no,
this is a certainty and just pencil that in and underline it, because
something different always happens and takes you by surprise.
And we talk about that all the time. The paranormal is that flow chart. Question, answer branches off down here, leads to another questions, and they branch off down here.
Yeah.
And it just goes and goes and goes to where the original question you were asking in the first place has now become this
sideline for something else.
And I love it. I do. It keeps me going. It keeps me fascinated. It keeps me interested in the field. And I block out all that other junk and crap that we talked about, because I focus on our relationship, my kids, the people that I surround myself with, my friends, and what we do and how we do it.
Yeah.
And that's really it. I don't really want to get mixed up in all that other crap. I just, we do what we do, you know, and we have for years. And again, we're 501c, so we're a charity event. The money we raise at the event you're going to tomorrow, if you're coming, goes to the mine, which in turn gives it for scholarships, STEM scholarships.
Yep.
And my son was a STEM scholarship recipient, so it's like paying it forward. But we do that at all these buildings. We just raise money for them, and all of our time and energy. We just love doing this with people. We always have. And hopefully we continue doing it for a little while longer if we can. But
I can keep distracting you.
Yeah. Anyway, I know we were all over the place about this tonight, but remember, if you're coming to the mine tomorrow, wear old crappy shoes.
Yeah, something you don't mind getting wet and dirty.
Put a hat on, maybe, and a light jacket, because the mine is always 56 degrees. Be careful coming, and we're going to have a good time. We're going to do some new things. August 3rd, Steve Gonzalez will be at that mine with us, and tickets will go on sale soon. The only tickets that are officially on sale now are still Centenary University for, I want to say August or something, but I'm not sure. But we will be announcing as well. What the heck's the name of that? The John Inskeep, June 22nd. That's the next one to go up, which will probably be Sunday. That one will go up June 22nd. John Inskeep in Marlton, New Jersey. That building's kind of weird too. A lot of weird energy in that basement for sure. So keep an eye out for that too. Anyway.
So the one that's up is August 24th to Centenary University. Yeah. That's the one.
So anyway, thanks for listening, guys. I know we were all over the place tonight, but this is what we do and this is who we are. Hopefully we see you guys at some events coming up. If not, we'll be doing live stuff. We'll still be here. We'll still have guests on. We'll still do interviews and doing what we love to do.
Have a good night. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Please remember to be kind to each other. Good night. Mind's the action.
It's a pity figure.